So here's the thing about hiring employees, and all small businesses was once there. It's like, when do you start hiring people? Same thing with me. When I started my business, it was like, okay, when do I start hiring people? And it was when I started to feel burnt out on doing all the work. And I was like, I need help. I can't do all this by myself, because I'm not going to want to do all this by myself. And, business kept coming. And it's either stop taking business or hire somebody to kind of help with the load, which is how, when I started hiring people. And depending on where you live, so rules are different. So I'm in the state of Georgia. So when I first started hiring people, I hired people contract work to work, so many hours. They were not a W-2 employee. So taxes weren't taken out. When I first started hiring people, taxes weren't taken out. They got paid for the hours they worked. I came up with the salary that I was able to pay at that time. And I let them know, these are the hours, and maybe 10 hours a week, and maybe 15 hours a week. This is all that I can afford to pay at this time. If that's something that you're interested in, then, they took the position. So the question here, I think, is if I'm not able to give them enough hours. The thing about when you're working with employees is being as transparent as possible, because not every company has a 40-hour work week for employees, right? Every company can't afford that. So if you can only afford 10 hours a week or 15 hours a week or 20 hours a week or whatever, you let that person know ahead of time. When you're talking about the position, when you're advertising, when you're interviewing, hey, this position's only for 20 hours a week, or this position's up to 20 hours a week. So you may not get 20 every week. You'll never go over 20, but you may not get 20 every week because it's up to 20. It just depends on the schedule. Then the person can make an informed decision. The adult can make an informed decision and say, hey, this is something I'm interested in. I think this would be good for me. Or I'm not interested in this. I'm looking for something with guaranteed hours or guaranteed pay or whatever. And then you move on to the next person. Everybody doesn't want 30 hours. Some people may only want 10 hours, just enough to maybe supplement their income. So you don't know until you get out there what people are interested in. And when you advertise, you say that. So you want to make sure you're advertising your true need. So don't advertise that you have a full-time opening when you don't. Don't advertise that you have 30 hours a week when you don't. Advertise what you have. And then the people who reply hopefully have read the advertisement and know, okay, well, this only pays 15 hours a week or 10 hours a week. They know, so that people who are contacting you are people who already know what the expectation as it relate around hours. But I started hiring employees when it got to be too much for me to take on myself. Now, and then when you hire employees, that's a whole nother video. It's a whole nother couple of videos. But that is when I hired my first employee. I have several employees now. But that's when I hired my first employee, when it was too much for me to handle. And it got to the point where I don't enjoy doing this, all of this. It was stressful. It was a lot. And let me rephrase. So I did enjoy it, but I was beginning to get burnt out, and I could not give everybody my best because I was spread so thin. And I know I needed help to reach the goal, to serve the people. I had a lot of referrals coming in. And I was one who did not like to turn away a referral. So if someone was like, oh, I heard about your agency, I want to come with you, I was like, come on. I was excited. I was very excited when I first got the email. Then when I started working with the person, I'm like, I have too many people that I can handle. I'm happy to get referrals, but I can't handle them all. And so that is when I was like, I need help. And again, it was a process. It wasn't easy. And I'm not going to say that when I first tried to get employees, that it worked out smoothly. It's a learning process for all of us. So it's a learning process. So when is it time? When you feel like you need help to get to the goal that you're trying to get to, and you can determine how many hours this particular position pays for. All of my positions started out as contractors with low hours. And thus far, all of my positions have gone to that for my staff have turned into full-time positions with benefits. So it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And we have to start somewhere at the goal. So good luck.